he was extremely thoughtful about customers. We call them users. In consumer, you probably call them users. On enterprise, you call them customer. He was extremely thoughtful about what they would want and what product features they cared about, and also how the concept of bringing on your friends, the more friends you had on the platform, the more engaging and valuable that it would be. There were a lot of things that we could have done also. We could have introduced payments early on. A lot of people wanted to do that. We didn't do that. We focused more on photos. We focused more on events. We focused more on social experiences than we did on monetization, which was an extremely smart value proposition for the user base. I think that what I learned is that he spent an extreme amount of time thinking about the user, thinking about the customer, and being curious about what they would want and what was most important for them in the context of building a great company. He used to spend, I remember, hours on end taking notes on what his vision for different features of the product would be. And they were very detailed, extremely detailed. And then he would sort of walk around the office to us and hand us a stack of notes that had been Xeroxed, that he had spent hours writing down, like what mini feed looked like inside of the profile, or what the news feed had to be visualized as, or what a photo tag when the box around people's faces first came out, what that had to look like. And then also the intentionality around how he was collecting data to make the product better 5 years from now, right? Like photo tagging, for example, eventually that ended up being a very good way to train a face recognition algorithm and automatically detect people's faces in photos very far down the line. His sort of intuition around how to build those product features was extremely strong. And so I think I learned that really empathizing, not necessarily listening, but empathizing with your customer is the paramount objective of the CEO of a company, especially a product-driven company. And so when you really put yourself in the shoes of that user or of that customer and thinking about what they would want and how to execute on building the right product for them that will be engaging, that's how you really build a great company. And there are so many distractions, so many opinions that will come your way as CEO. And this is something that ultimately I think I was not nearly as good at as Mark at, was the distractions as you scale a business get worse and worse and worse. And it gets exponentially more difficult to listen to your own thoughts around empathizing with the customer, that you sometimes lose sight of what's important very quickly in a company. And so I think that was what I definitely learned. But I'll never forget that, hey, here's my latest notes on this feature or that feature. And I hope he's still does that to this day, because his thoughts articulated down in notes were what made the product special and what made the end result extremely special. So I learned about that and his empathy for the customer.